comes to talk, and we're going to be live in a few minutes. So stand by. I'm still setting up, and of course, what I'm going to open with today is the incredible deal that Trump made with the EU, which was just fantastic and amazing and historic and huge. It was just the best. We will be taking your calls as well. Yeah, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Test 1, 2. Test 1. There we go. See, there's a bit of a delay. That's how long the delay is. That's Mike at the radio station. Who else would be texting me at this hour? Yep, it's Mike. Let's see. It's telling me what time we're going to be live. Okay. Just doing a phone test. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. There it is, okay. I'm getting all my commercial copy organized. There we go. Welcome, everyone. Just going over the last bit of show prep here. I'm getting everything queued up. If you want to call in during the show, the number's pinned in the chat. It's a toll-free call. We'll be live in about 6 minutes or so, 6, 7 minutes. Oh, man, what a great day. What a great day, people. Does not get better than this. We are winning like no one's business. This EU deal is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's an incredible deal. An incredible deal. 6 minutes we'll be live. And of course, what today's going to be on the show really is a celebration of everything Trump has accomplished. And he's accomplished a lot. It doesn't get better than this. And if you got any issues with Trump, you're welcome to call me on the air. All the calls are unvetted and screenless. When you call in, I just put you on hold. And then when I get to the phones, when you hear me say, what's your name, where are you calling from? That's the first time anybody talks to you. So everything is screenless and unvetted. A lot of people ask about these. These are just reading glasses. I don't, I have perfect vision far away, but I have to have reading glasses to see what I'm reading, unless I want to squint. These are some of the best times we could possibly ever imagine having. They really are. I mean, these are just great, great times that we're living in. The age of Trump, MAGA America. Mm-hmm. We got about less than 4 minutes and we'll be live. Reading glasses, that's right. I've been wearing those since my 40s, yeah. You go through these phases, you get like in denial about them. Nobody wants to read. I wear reading glasses. If you're new, yeah, thank you. Welcome to the new subscribers. John, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be live in about 3 minutes. Now, if you're new, you're right now, if you're watching live, you got the green screen behind me. I'll start my other stream right before the show starts. On the other stream is where you get all the benefits of the green screen effect. Right? You'll get to see and hear the audio I play, see the articles I'm talking about. On this stream, you'll see me, obviously, and hear the callers, but you won't be able to hear the audio sound bites on this stream. You have to go to the other one when I start it up. If you're on hold, hang in there. We got a little more than 2 minutes, and then we'll be live. Oh, the USA is winning. We are winning. 2 minutes, and we'll be live. 2 minutes. Very exciting. 1 minute. 1 minute and we will be live. Actually, less than a minute. Thirty seconds. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and it's a great MAGA Monday morning. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. If you're on hold, stand by. We've got a lot to cover. You know, today is truly a celebration of Trump's incredible accomplishment with this deal with the European Union. You know, what happened yesterday, you want to talk about the art of the deal. It was so spectacularly amazing watching President Trump yesterday in Scotland with this EU trade deal. Now, you got to, first of all, understand the United States, we are the #1 largest economy in the world. The largest economy in the world is the United States, which really is a miracle when you consider we've had all these incompetent, corrupt public officials and corrupt presidents selling the country out for the last, 60 years. We're still the #1 largest economy in the world with all of them wrecking it. Could you imagine if all the presidents were like Trump, were not sellouts, were not corrupt, knew what they were doing, and made deals to benefit America? Oh my goodness. But we're the #1 largest economy in the world, and the European Union, with all those countries together, is the second largest economy in the world. And that's why this deal that President Trump made yesterday is the largest trade deal in the history of humanity, in the history of the planet, and for that matter, in the history of the known universe, right? And the way it came down yesterday was very shocking, because I'd watched the press conference that President Trump had with the Chancellor of the EU yesterday, this lady that I've never heard of before, and I watched the whole thing. And it was a good press conference. President Trump talked about a lot of things, the immigration problem in Europe, the trade deal. He had a really great discussion on the windmills. There was all kinds of great stuff. And I knew that the EU chancellor was friendly to the president because, I could tell, but she didn't talk a lot. But the little she did talk, I could tell she was friendly. She did say that there's a trade imbalance. She says in Europe we have a surplus. The United States has a deficit, a trade deficit, and we've got to balance that. I heard her say that, which I thought, okay. And the very fact that she went to President Trump's golf resort in Scotland, went to him, was also a sign that things were good. And they were talking about a possible trade deal, and it was a great press conference. And then it was over, and I was watching it, and I turned it off, and I went back to do my whatever I do on Sundays, doing stuff around the house and everything. And then I start getting all these notifications on my phone that the president had made signed the trade deal with the EU. I'm like, what? And I turned on everything. I turned on the internet, turned on YouTube, turned on the TV, and I saw him there with the Chancellor of the EU, and I saw it online on it, and I thought, is this live? Is this new? Or are they rerunning the press conference from earlier? Because they were in the same clothes and the same chairs, because it was just a few minutes later. he had that press conference, and then a few minutes, they left, they ended it. He comes back a few minutes later, and they came to the biggest trade agreement deal in history, 0% tariff on U.S. goods, $759 billion in various U.S. energy that Europe's going to buy, oil, natural gas, coal, whatever else we got, and another $600 billion with a B, and that Europe, the EU, is going to make in investments in the United States. So, I mean, it was over $1 trillion in this deal, and it was just amazing. I'm like, what? How did this happen? And I watched so quick. And I watched the press conference, which I'll play some clips of it later. But I do want to take your calls on this. I mean, this is a great day of celebration. Our number is toll-free, no matter where you're listening, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. So, yeah, so they're letting us bring our good, they're letting us import into Europe with 0 tariffs on U.S. goods. That's amazing. We have a 15% on theirs coming into our country. Who would have thought? And then when they had the press conference, a lot of good things were said, but one of the reporters asked the Chancellor of the European Union, what concessions did the United States make? And she said none, because there was such a trade imbalance. So not only did President Trump get this incredible deal made, he didn't make a single concession, which means he got everything he wanted and a lot more, because we always know President Trump asks for a lot more than he wants anytime he's involved in a negotiation. Just read The Art of the Deal. Just follow him, because then he has things to concede. He didn't concede anything. So President Trump got everything he wanted in this EU trade deal, and a whole bunch more. It's amazing. And, you know, this is one of those things that is universally good. Everybody, how can you make a case that the trade deal that he made yesterday is not a good thing? Now, just to give you a early MAGA Monday morning preview, what you're going to hear from the left, probably on the phones here, as well as in the news, you're going to hear a lot of talk of Epstein. That's the new talking point. You're going to hear about Epstein and cuts to Medicaid, which, you know, both lies. So, you know, I predicted this over a week and a half ago. I told you, you know, things are going so well. President Trump's doing so much. There's so much winning going on. They don't have a case against anything he's doing, so they're going to constantly mention Epstein's name. And that's their SOS. And let me tell you, we're not here to talk about Epstein. I'm not going to be talking about that. But every time I hear a liberal say that name, I'm going to consider that the white flag with an L, a surrender. We got nothing. We can't say anything. We got no arguments. We're losers. So we're going to say Epstein's name. I'm going to take that as a surrender by anyone who brings it up. And you're going to see a lot of that in the news, online, on television. What are they going? How can you argue against this trade deal? What about this trade deal could you honestly say is not a good thing? And that it happened so quick. Another thing, I just find it super cool that we have a president of the United States that owns all these incredible resorts around the world and around America, aren't you? Isn't it so cool that he's basically holding economic summit meetings? He's holding court in Scotland. He's the king of Scotland. So he's holding court in Scotland. And they're coming to him in Scotland to come to the Trump court in Scotland, to the king of Scotland, and surrender to him. Europe caved to President Trump. Europe was defeated. All these conquerors over the years, Napoleon, Hitler, whoever else, you know, Donald Trump conquered Europe in a few minutes, sitting in a green chair at his golf course in Scotland. The great MAGA king, the king of Scotland, Donald Trump. It was just amazing. It was amazing. And I do think it's super cool that we have a president that has these awesome resorts, don't you? Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. I will take calls after the break. And you certainly are welcome to call in about this. There's a lot of other things I'm going to bring up, too, on the program this morning because a lot of things have happened over the weekend. News is breaking like every 6 seconds. So we've got a lot to cover. But I want to start with this great MAGA Monday morning celebration of the incredible trade deals that President Trump is making. And this one with the EU is spectacular. Now, I want to tell you about the free doorbell camera offer from Slomin's. If you've not taken advantage of this yet, do it. It will change your life. You know, with this doorbell camera from Slomin's, you get a notification on your phone anytime there's movement in the front of your house, no matter where you are. Maybe you're stuck in the bathroom. Maybe you're in the backyard, working in the garage. Maybe you're at the grocery store. Maybe you're on vacation. If there's movement in the front of your house, you get a notification on your phone. You can see who's there. And Slomin's is going to give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Slomin Shield. But that's not all. Slomin's, they're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, a backup battery, and you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin Shield. Give them a call right now. The number is toll-free, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. All right, callers on hold, you stand by. We'll take our first break of the week and be back after this. All right, we'll be back shortly. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll take the calls when we get back. Those of you that are watching on the stream with the green screen, to hear all the audio sound bites and everything and the videos that I play, you got to go to my other stream. On the stream with the green screen, you will hear me and the caller's fine, but the audio sound bites and videos, you're not going to see or hear that. You got to go to my other stream for that. We'll be back in about a minute. Yeah, take advantage of that deal. Remember, you can use my promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Great day. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. And boy, oh boy, do we have so much to cover. But we're sticking here in the beginning with this incredible, historic EU trade deal, the largest trade deal ever, which is proof that tariffs work, right? All those people who said tariffs don't work were wrong. All right, let's take some calls. And I got a lot more to cover, too. This is just the beginning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, for the longest time, this is how big this deal is with the Europeans. For the longest time, the Europeans have been at the whim of the Russians for their energy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If the Russians had deemed it necessary, they could shut down that pipeline like that, you know?
That's right.
And what would Germany and the rest of the European Union be without that energy?
Mm-hmm.
Now that they're buying the energy from America, you know,
it's true.
Less, you know, dependent on the Russian energy.
That's right. That's right. Well, Mike, good to hear from you. I agree with all that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, bro. How are you, bro?
I'm doing great. What's going on?
Oh, man, Trump's ruling the world, doing great. The King of Scotland, Donald Trump.
Really?
Really, yeah.
What you like about Trump?
Everything. You called me. What's on your mind? What inspired you to call today?
Well, I just...
Well, hold on 1 second here. Hold on. My phones are ringing off the hook. All right, so you were inspired to call for what reason? You picked up the phone and called?
What I'm saying is praising a dude. That's kind of funny. I mean...
Praising a dude?
What's up with all this praise? Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know Trump or something.
Well, I'm praising. I am praising. Go ask your question.
Go ahead. You praising what? What you praising?
I am praising the greatest president that we've ever had, Donald John Trump, the 45th and 47th president of the United States.
Really? So a non-politician could be the greatest president ever?
Absolutely.
So are you praising him because he's the last stand for America?
No, I'm praising him because of his great things. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Well, I think that's your the last stand for America. After him is over with.
Is that what you want?
That's why
are you an American?
No, that's not what I want. But that's why you praising him so much.
No, because I
don't want that.
The reason we praise him. The reason we praise this great president is because he is the first president of the United States in a long, long time to put America and Americans first. He's done so much. You know, he shut down...
what did he do? I mean, what did he do? I mean, basically, why do you vote for him?
Well, what did he do? He's done everything he's promised he would do. I'll tell you what he's done so far in the second term. Just a couple things, okay? Now, you're an African-American gentleman, correct?
I'm a what?
You're African-American.
Can't you tell?
Yeah, you're black, right? You're a black guy.
Well, can't you tell? You could tell. I mean, that's a crazy question.
Well, no, it's relevant to what I'm going to share with you.
I don't sound like
as an African-American, you know, there's a sad history of the Democrats' slavery that went on in this country prior to the Civil War. And President Trump has shut down the largest slave passage in history, larger than even the slave passage from Africa to the New World. And that's when he shut down the southern border. He stopped the slave trafficking through the U.S. southern border. He ended slavery. That's a good thing.
Slavery? What slavery are you talking about?
The illegals that were being trafficked into the United States were being trafficked here. There was child sex trafficking. There was sex trafficking, labor trafficking. You know, they're bringing people here. Remember, you hear all these Democrats. Who's going to mow your lawn? Who's going to clean your toilets?
No, I mean,
Who's going to pick the fruit?
George Bush.
No, it didn't start with George. No, it didn't start with George Bush. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who started it. Donald Trump ended it. Donald Trump ended it. Not one illegal came across the border last month.
So it's ended.
Ended slavery. He ended slavery. Yes, that's a good thing, right? Isn't that a good thing?
So that's what you said. When did he end it, though?
By shutting down the southern border. Not one illegal came into the country last month. So not one illegal entered the United States from the southern border last month. Yeah, Border Patrol released the numbers.
Wow, really?
That's right.
Is that easy, huh?
It's not easy, but he did it. He sent the Marines down there and others.
I mean, he did it. So Trump did all that.
Yes, and that was a modern day slave passage.
Slave passage?
Yeah. You hear it all the time from Democrats. Who's going to mow your lawn? Who's going to clean your toilets? Who's going to pick the fruits and vegetables on the farms? It's a slave workforce that they were bringing through the Democrats. Trump ended that.
But I mean, I respect that, but not. So Trump is not a politician. That's what I'm saying.
Technically, maybe, but no, he's not.
So it was
He's a businessman.
Democrats and Republicans doing that.
Yeah, the Republicans.
George Bush's wife is half Hispanic.
Well, no, you're talking about Jeb Bush's. Jeb Bush's wife, Columba, is Cuban.
Jeb Bush, George Bush.
Well, the Bushes are criminals. I'm not here to talk about we're in 2025.
I mean, are you Republican?
Yes.
Or are you just for Trump?
No, I'm a Republican.
Right. So we talking.
But that doesn't mean I'm responsible for every Republican throughout history. Just like, are you responsible for every black man that commits a crime because you're black? No, that's stupid.
Right, just like you're not responsible for every illegal alien in this country.
You asked me a question. Why do you support Trump? Donald Trump ended a slave passage where more slaves were being trafficked than ever in the history of this country.
I don't believe he did that.
Yeah, he did. It's done. He shut down the southern border. Illegals aren't coming.
Do you live? Where you from? Florida?
Yes.
Right.
It's widely reported everywhere. It's being widely reported everywhere. Hold on one second. Watch your news. It's everywhere. Not a single illegal alien came across.
So you believe the news?
Well, it's not just the news. Other people have gone to the southern border and shown this. The president has said so.
Well, have you been there?
I don't have to listen. I don't have to have been there to know that it's shut down.
I mean, everything is.
If a tree. What are you doing? If a tree falls in the woods and no one's there, did it make a noise? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay. I'm just saying you praising a man
who's done great things.
That's what I'm saying.
We're praising a man for the great things he's done.
He would do great things, but you praising him.
He has done great things.
I feel like you praising him because that's the last stand.
I know, you're back to that, Polly. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. He's back to where he started. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
Hey, Richie.
Listen, sometimes I think that when you say things, you over-exaggerate. And I got to tell you, this time, people don't realize with this trade agreement over here.
Oh, hold on one second, Rich. I'm answering. All my lines are just blowing up here. Yeah, go ahead.
This was a total takedown in favor of the United States.
100%.
He obliterated them. Mm-hmm. He literally changed the economy of the world yesterday.
Big time.
The natural gas that we're going to send over there, that cuts Russia out of that.
Yep.
The no tariff for us over there cuts China out, and the 15% that we're charging them. Well, if they don't like it, they're going to put factories here, and we'll have jobs here. People don't realize this is the greatest president ever.
It's amazing.
And ever. There's never been and the reaction. I listened to a guy whose wife's German, and she called Germany and her parents. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, Europe is very upset. They want to hang this lady. They said she sold the European Union down the right. I mean, she had no choice because President Trump basically said, you either sign it or we're not going to deal at all with you. And that's the end of you.
Well, I'm not going to hear any moral arguments from the German people. I'll tell you that.
No, but all Europe upset.
Oh, yeah.
The Europeans they're all upset with
sorry.
her.
The rip-off's over.
They say she's a traitor.
The rip-off's over.
The other thing, really quick now, you have a crystal ball in front of you because yesterday, I know I want to stay on topic, but I watched the mainstream news programs, the Sunday programs. It was all about this stupid thing with Epstein. They mentioned nothing.
No.
They are so fixated. They are running.
Well, how can they make a case? How can they make a case against this the largest trade deal in history? So they're going to mention Epstein all day. Epstein. That's their surrender.
They ignore everything good that he does for us, and they just completely put stonewall.
Well, do you know? Before the president went to Scotland, it was reported that Roger Stone has been staying at the White House for the last week. Before that, briefing President Trump on everything with Epstein because Roger Stone's an expert on this. And Roger Stone said yesterday that every politician that went to Epstein Island was a Democrat. Not one Republican went to Epstein Island. They were all Democrats. Roger Stone said that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe him. He's an insider. I'm a big insider.
Yep.
And that's why he went to jail. Believe it or not.
That's right.
He was another one. And not for nothing, but this is the greatest move ever. People just don't realize for the American economy how good this is.
I just wonder when this deal was done. Was this deal done before he went to Scotland? Did it happen right there on the spot? It came down so quick.
Well, she was opening up her mouth, and the European Union was going to get Trump.
Oh, yeah.
She just totally caved.
President Trump conquered Europe. He conquered Europe. Hey, appreciate the call, Richie. If you're on hold, stand by. Now, if you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy, listen up. Neuropathy it's I don't know if it's an official disability, but it should be. If you're suffering from neuropathy, it's a rough life. You're in pain, you're dizzy, you're falling down, you got tingling in your hands and your feet. It's very painful. You can't sleep because you got all these symptoms going on. Some people have multiple symptoms all at the same time. It's just awful. And your doctors, your neurologists, they'll tell you there's no treatment for neuropathy. That's not true. Lighthouse Medical in Pompano, they have a treatment for neuropathy. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works. And at Lighthouse Medical in Pompano, they have a treatment for neuropathy that lasts. Steve Kane went in 3 years ago to have his neuropathy treated. His neuropathy symptoms gone. And 3 years later, they have not returned. Lighthouse Medical can help you with your neuropathy no matter where you're located in the United States. Give them a call. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll be right back. All right, we'll be back in a little more than 30 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're celebrating this incredible trade deal that just happened like that. The biggest trade deal ever made in the world, and of course, proving that tariffs work. So we're celebrating that today. Then we'll move on to some other things because there's some big stuff, but this is an all-day celebration. About 20 seconds or so. We'll be back. Welcome back on this MAGA Monday morning. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. The Steve Kane Show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig. We are celebrating this incredible deal that the president made yesterday. Our number, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yep. Turn down the volume of whatever you're listening to me on in the background, please.
Got it turned down.
Okay. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
My cup runneth over. Our coffers runneth over.
Yeah.
We have more than $1 billion in tariffs. $1 billion. I mean, this man is looking for us to get rid of our major deficit, like the $1 trillion thing that's been looming over our heads.
Yeah.
And when he gets rid of that guy in the Federal Reserve and the interest rate goes down, then the money that we actually owe, because we owe a lot, over $1 trillion, it's going to make it easier to pay back. What do these Democrats not realize about this situation?
Well, there aren't that many Democrats to wonder about much these days. People are being red-pilled and magnetized all the time. But yesterday, the director of the White House Office of Budget and Management, whatever that, that big financial office they have there, that they said yesterday that in Trump's first month, he's brought it through the tariffs and all these deals, has brought in enough money to pay off a third of the national debt. A third in the first 6 months of the national debt. That's crazy.
What do they got against that? I mean, are they crazy?
Yes,
Well,
Democrats are crazy, yes.
Oh, I just don't understand it. And every morning when Biden was president, I woke up with a cringe.
Yeah.
Every morning I wake up with President Trump as the president. I wake up an elated person.
Yeah.
He's taking care of us.
Oh yeah. And we've never had a president, not even Reagan, who did this. Reagan was great, but his concern was the Soviet Union, which helped Europe more than us. We've never had a president that put the American people first like this. Not at this level, ever. Ever.
I know. This man, he's a godsend. I mean, he takes such good care of us.
Mm-hmm.
He believes in we the people. And there was a woman just recently, when they had the angel moms.
Yeah.
And I think some kind of court system let him go again. And Trump went and got that person.
Mm. Wow.
Killed his daughter.
Wow.
And I think he had put her in like a garbage bin full of bleach in his backyard.
Oh my
believe
Lord.
It or not.
Oh my Lord.
Yes, and Trump went after that guy. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
God.
All right.
And these people.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, and this deal that he did yesterday, he did it like in 10 minutes. I was in shock when he came back with the deal. I couldn't believe it.
It was phenomenal. I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And everything said he was going to do, I think this man has a checklist, and he just check.
Well, it's promises made, promises kept, and already I think he's got to start making new promises because he's accomplished all the things he promised to do in the second term. That's it. You know?
Well, but I think he's even going to do more. This is a great man. He is a great man.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking out for the American people.
That's sure. That's surely the truth. All right, Joan in Tampa, Florida. Take care.
You take care too. Bye-bye.
All right. See, a celebration, a MAGA celebration. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, turn down the volume. It's one call per show.
Yeah, but why you hung up?
Because we were done with the conversation. I didn't hire you to be the. You're not. You haven't been hired to be the co-host.
No, but that was rude, man. I mean, I thought you was a Republican.
How long am I supposed to keep you on? For the rest of the show?
Say, okay.
I said thank you for your call, and I let you go.
Right, because I mean,
am I supposed to wait? Wait a minute. One of us has to end the conversation. So who's to decide? Who's to decide that? You or me?
Well, you the host, but I've been saying
exactly. I'm the host. That's correct.
Right.
I said thank you for your call, and then I let you go.
Okay, so you you're not proving. You didn't even answer my question though.
What was your idiotic question again? I forgot what it was.
So my idiotic question is, why did you vote for Trump and keep it real?
I gave you an example, shutting down the southern border, which he did. That slave trade we talked about. That was an answer to your question. That was just one reason.
So thank you. So that's the main reason why you voted for him.
Not the main reason. It's one of many. You know, the Trump, one of many.
Important reason.
I want to make America. No, it's not the most important, but it's high up there.
What do you mean about make America great? What that mean?
Make America. What President Trump did yesterday. And by the way, it's one call per show, but you're new, so I'm giving you a second dose. But in the future, it's one. It's one call per show in the future. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I got you.
When you talk about making America great again, that's a great question, and here's the answer. What President Trump did yesterday is an example of making America great again. Europe caved to President Trump. Europe surrendered to President Trump. And what President Trump did with this incredible historic trade deal with the European Union, which is the largest trade deal ever made in the history of humanity, we're the largest economy. The EU is the second largest economy. Big deal. He reestablished the President of the United States as the leader of the free world, which is a title presidents had for decades that was lost since Obama came on the scene. And so making America great again.
Until who came on the scene?
Until Obama was elected in 2008 and started all this globalism nonsense.
Really?
Yes, he was a terrible president, and he still is. I mean, it looks like they're going to impeach Obama now for his coup.
Oh, you say impeach him?
He's going to be impeached. Yeah, they're talking about impeaching Obama.
From what?
For the coup that he organized that's still ongoing against President Trump.
Okay.
Yeah. So President Trump has you asked, what does make America great mean? President Trump has reestablished the President of the United States as the leader of the free world, which establishes the United States as the leading nation in the world again. That's what we mean by make America great again.
Oh, that's what it means.
I know you want to think it means segregation and all that stupid stuff that the Democrats used to do. No, that's not what we're talking about.
Okay. That's what I need to know. I mean, when was America great? That's what I'm
America has always been great, but we've had some problems from time to time by having corrupt public officials. Look, we just had a president for 4 years. They found cocaine in his office, right? I mean, come on. Listen, I got to run, but it's one call per day.
Who you talking about, Biden?
Yeah, they found cocaine in the West Wing when he was president at the Situation Room. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 10-4. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. Thanks for your call. He's new, so I'll give him a pass. The rest of you on hold, stand by. I want to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. You know, Tom Laporta has been in business since 1988. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. And he's not just a roofer, he's also a contractor. And under Florida law, that allows Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair or the replacement of your roof. And that goes whether it's your homeowner's insurance or your property insurance for your commercial property, or maybe you have one of these HOAs that has hundreds of units, or apartment buildings or condos, or an office complex. He can deal directly with your property insurance company on the cost of the replacement or the repair of your roof, which speeds things up a lot. I'm going to give you Tom Laporta's cell phone number. Give him a call. His number is 954-604-4602. You can call or text Tom Laporta at that number, 954-604-4602. You can also go to his website, laportaroofing.com. Now, the number on the website is the office number, and you're welcome to call the office, but if you want to get Tom Laporta on his cell phone, call or text 954-604-4602. And again, online, laportaroofing.com. We'll take our last break of the first hour and be right back. Now, if you are a Medicare recipient or turning 65 and you have questions about your Medicare, call Chapter. The number to Chapter is in the description of the video. It's on the screen here on YouTube, 805-754-3033. No matter where you're located in the United States, no matter which one of the 50 U.S. states you're in, you can get free Medicare help from Chapter. You know, there's over 24,000 Medicare policies. Chapter has access to all of them, so they'll make sure that you have the right policy for you. They could save you thousands of dollars a year when you get that call. You'll get a live person, and they'll give you help right over the phone, and it's completely free. It will cost you nothing. 805-754-3033. 805-754-3033. And again, the number is in the description of the video. And, you know, if you've got a supplement, they'll make sure you have the right supplement. They'll make sure that you're not paying too much for your supplement. If you don't have a supplement, you think you might need one, they'll let you know. Do you need one? And what's the right one? Are your medications covered, or is your doctor's going to be covered next year? They'll give you all these answers for free. And Medicare is very, very confusing. Again, you get a live person to help you too. 805-754-3033. 805-754-3033. And again, the number is in the description of the video. Give them a call. We'll be back in a little more than a minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. So we learned yesterday with President Trump in Scotland, who I'm giving him the title President of the United States, Great MAGA King, and the King of Scotland. We learned yesterday that tariffs work. And, you know, another thing they like to say on the left is that those of us who support President Trump, those of us who consider ourselves MAGA, Trumplicans, that we are an occult, when in fact the ones that are not on the Trump train are the ones that are in a cult. A cult is a small little group. New poll just came out. This is left-wing, Trump-hating CNN. We used to, when Bill Clinton was president, we used to call CNN the Clinton News Network. So here's CNN reporting on the new poll. It's a Wall Street Journal CNN poll they're discussing. Listen. Oh, the internet just froze on the soundbite after the build-up. Hold on, let me pull it up here. I'll pull it back up in a second and play it for you. Hold on, give me a minute. It's every once in a while, we have to prove that we are live. And I don't know why it froze up on me, but of course, they might be trying to delete it from the internet because it's such good news. It'll queue up in a bit and I'll play it for you. But here we go. We got it now. All right, here it is. Nope, it won't play. See? You know what I think they're doing? I think they're deleting this from the internet. I think it, because I played this right before the show a couple of times, and I think they're trying to delete it. Okay, now I found it here. Here we go. Oh, it keeps deleting. We got to... Here we go. Is toast. And they're trying to delete this video off the internet. That's why I'm having a hard time playing it. The Wall Street Journal poll, the poll is of the Democrats' net favorable rating. The Wall Street Journal poll has the Democrats' negative 30 points approval rating. CNN poll has the Democrats' approval rating negative 26 points. And I can't even play it because they don't want you to know this stuff. But, you know, listen, this country has always been a conservative country. It was founded by Puritans. Okay? And they're in big, big trouble. You know, have you noticed that AOC and Jasmine Crockett, who are on the campaign trail like crazy, have you noticed they've both been gaining lots of weight? They have. Jasmine Crockett and AOC have both been gaining weight. And I think they've been gaining weight because they're in a panic and they're trying to find solutions both by eating and possibly even at the bottom of glasses, if you catch my drift. Both of these women, who not that long ago were seen as presidential candidates, Senate candidates, big futures in the Democrat Party, now all of a sudden both of them are wearing mom jeans and are gaining weight at such a rate. Every time you see them, they're heavier. And, you know, the reason that the Democrat Party has this negative 30 approval rating in the Wall Street Journal poll and negative 26 approval rating in the CNN poll, which, you know, with the margin of errors, those polls are about equal. So, you know, with the margin of error, so it shows you've got a statistical measure that the polling is very accurate. You have two independent polls on the same thing and with basically the same result. That tells you it really is that bad. And remember, Wall Street Journal hates Trump. Trump's suing the Wall Street Journal. CNN, they hate every Republican that's ever walked the earth. And, you know, that's pretty bad. You know, Stephen Colbert, did you see what he did? He called on supporters to stage a protest outside CBS in New York, and they had like 15 people show up. I saw it online. I couldn't believe how few people. Yeah, I was watching Jay Leno over the weekend, and he was saying, you know, these late night shows are now just catering to half the country, just half the audience, potential audience, not the whole country. Now, I think Jay Leno, with all due respect, is wrong about that. They're catering to a very small cult following. There are not that many Democrats anymore. Most people are MAGA, are supporting Trump, because the things that President Trump is doing are so universally good, you really can't take issue with them. That, and these poll numbers that show them in such a deficit is unheard of for the Democrat Party. And a lot of it is in large part because of Trump and his success and his comeback in this second term. But, you see the things he's doing. The guy that called at the beginning of the show that got in twice, he was, what is Trump doing? How many videos have you seen online of people driving during rush hour in Los Angeles during the week in rush hour in the mornings, and it's smooth sailing, there's no traffic? It's true. No traffic. Because the illegals are either have been deported or afraid of being deported, and they're not out there on the streets anymore. They're back in their home country, they're in the El Salvador prison, or they're just hiding out, whatever it is. People are it's a whole new country we're in right now. And the left, they don't see it, they won't acknowledge it. Now, after the top of the hour, I'm going to get into some other stories, and a lot of things have been happening, and we're going to break down a lot of different things starting in the next hour. But, this story about this god-awful event where at Walmart, did you see that? A good guy with a gun, who's African-American, stopped a bad guy with a knife who's white. That story is going to evaporate from the media so quick because that's a narrative they don't want. Now, if things were reversed and things went south, maybe, but not this. This is a different country. I saw a story a couple days ago. Some illegals who were on the run from Tom Homan and ICE agents ran into a medical office, like one of those walk-in medical clinics or something. And in the past, that was a place where they couldn't be touched. ICE went in and got them. 6-7 months ago, they wouldn't have been allowed to. Now they can. There's been such a change in this country. We have gotten our country back. We had been taken over by corrupt public officials and lunatics who had one goal in mind, and that was the destruction of the United States as we know it. And President Trump has saved us. But listen, we're only 1 hour in to the 3-hour show on this incredible MAGA Monday morning. Don't miss a minute of the show because there's a lot coming up today. And a lot of things have happened other than this trade deal, which is huge. So I'm going to start to get into some of these things after the top of the hour. I don't want to bring up anything new now because I won't have time to do it justice, and there's some big things that I've got to cover. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free no matter where you're tuned in to us at 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want to talk about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Mike Lindell had a great victory. That $5 million judgment against him last week, he appealed the case. The appellate court went in his favor. That judgment has been reversed. He doesn't owe the $5 million to that guy anymore. Isn't that awesome? It's a great thing. Mike Lindell, because of his support of President Trump, has been through so much. His company's been through so much, kicked out of all these big retailers, but he's stayed in business. And what he's been able to do because of these big stores like Walmart and Kohl's and the others kicking out MyPillow, QVC kicking out MyPillow, all these things, he's able to offer to you, the consumer, with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, all the great MyPillow products at wholesale prices. And if you've been waiting for the right time to load up on MyPillow products and get a good night's sleep, there has never been a better time. I want to talk about the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which my wife and I have been sleeping on for years. It's absolutely amazing. It will change your life. It turns your entire mattress into one big MyPillow. I was talking on Friday's show. My wife and I, we put on television at night to go to sleep to. I don't see the end of any television show because as soon as I'm in bed, I'm asleep. I'm sleeping on a cloud on my 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. There's a huge discount on it with our promo code Kane at checkout. It comes in every mattress size. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. The cover is made out of that temperature regulating technology, so it keeps you cool and cozy all summer long, and in the summer keeps you warm and toasty. It's also machine washable and dryable. Have them on all the beds in the house. And they also make great gifts. I bought them as gifts as well. So go to mypillow.com and order your 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. Now remember, you can use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, Kane. Okay. So after the top of the hour, I'm going to get into some big stories that we've not touched on yet. If you're on hold about this EU deal, you're welcome to call in about that still, but I am going to bring up some other stories. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us. And this is the last week of the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 48 years on the radio, because on August the 1st, we begin the 49th year of the Steve Kane Show on the radio. Pretty exciting, huh? We'll take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this. We'll be back in about 1 minute, guys. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. In the first hour, we were talking about this great EU deal. If you want to call in about that, you're certainly welcome. If you're on hold about that, you can hang in there. Tariffs do work. Trump proved that yesterday in the EU. But I want to get into some other things that are very, very important. This socialist, and by the way, Jogn in New York is not a socialist. He's an Islamic communist. I got a sneeze coming on, guys. Oh, my goodness. Why can't I sneeze during the breaks? Hold on. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the bless yous. I know I'll get some out there. My apologies. The air conditioning came on, and it's right like over my head. Whatever studio I've ever been in over the years, the AC vent typically is over my head. And when it kicks in, it makes me sneeze. That's okay. So Jogn, he is not a socialist. He is an Islamic communist. And he got married in Uganda. Did you hear about this wedding? This is a big bash that you're not going to be hearing all over the place. And the reason you're not going to be hearing it all over the place because it exposes this guy. Now, why would he go to Uganda and when you hear about the wedding, which I'll get through in a minute, this should be all over the news, but they want to cover this man of the people who went to a $68,000 a year private school when he was young. They want you to think he's a man of the people, a man of the people. But this wedding was second to Bezos, but pretty spectacular wedding when you think about it, considering that he's the socialist. But I'll tell you why I think he got married. He left the country to go get married in Uganda. Why would he get married right now? Why do you think? I'm trying to recover from the sneeze, guys. My apologies. Why do you think in the middle of this campaign, why did he stop the campaign, fly to Uganda, and get married all of a sudden in the middle of it? And why did he get married in Uganda, not in New York City? But why do you think he got married right now? Why do you think? You know what I think? He doesn't want people to think he's gay, right? He's 33 years old, he's not married, and he doesn't want people to think he's gay, which I don't know why that'd be a big deal to the Democrats, right? If you're out there for the liberals, that would be a plus, but if you're Muslim, that's a negative. But I think that's why he got married almost kind of in secret by doing, even though it's a lavish wedding, a big wedding, being in Uganda instead of New York City limited the press coverage of it. But I think that's why he got married. But listen to this. This is Fox News. New York City socialist would-be mayor Jogn throws lavish wedding bash in Uganda. Uganda, that seems like one of those places that you don't want to go to. I mean, whatever the third world is, Uganda is it. New York City Democrat mayoral nominee Jogn, this is Fox News, celebrated his recent marriage this week with a 3-day-long exclusive bash in his native Uganda that included masked military security and a cell phone jamming system. Now, stop there. So he had military guards guarding his wedding, and they were wearing masks? Seems to be a little conflict there, since the Democrats in this country, including the New York Democrats, are demanding that ICE agents take off masks. And why a cell phone jamming system in place? What's that about? Why did Zohan have military guards wearing masks guarding his wedding in Uganda? And why a cell phone jamming system? Why were they jamming cell phone signals at the wedding? Why would you do such a thing? Anyone have any thoughts on that? Anyway, New York City Democrat mayoral nominee, Fox News here, Zohan, celebrated his recent marriage this week with a 3-day-long exclusive bash in his native Uganda that included masked military security and a cell phone jamming system. The party took place at his family's private compound in the East African country in a wealthy area outside of Kampala, the capital of Uganda, according to the New York Post. The socialist candidate eloped with illustrator Rama Duwaji, with whom he lives in an apartment in Queens. So if they both live in Queens, why go to Uganda for the wedding? Outside the house where more than 20, this is his wedding they're describing, outside his family's house where more than 20 special forces soldiers, a command unit, guards, some of them wearing masks. So why does he have 20 special forces military people guarding his family's compound with cell phone jamming in Uganda? Wouldn't it have been a little easier to get married in New York? Outside the house were more than 20 special forces command unit guards, some in masks, and there was a phone jamming system set up, and all for this strictly invite-only Zohan wedding event. One gate had around 9 guards stationed at it. Again, these are military guards. Last Sunday, Zohan posted in a video on his X page that he was going back to Uganda. I'm heading there in a personal capacity to celebrate Rama and I's marriage with our family and friends. He joked, but depending on your perspective, don't worry, or I'm sorry, I'll be back by the end of the month. See you soon, NYC. This whole thing is weird. Why do it there, where it's obviously dangerous? The revelers enjoyed music, food, and dancing during the celebration, and when the bash was over, Zohan's personal security reportedly appeared to take over as the military guards left. The celebration came at the same time Uganda was mourning the death of the Supreme Court judge who was a neighbor of Zohan's family who died on July 14th. People are in mourning, one person told the New York Post, and locals have called the wedding celebration insensitive. At one point, the street was blocked off by the Uganda president's caravan who came to the neighborhood. Zohan's family home sits on 2 acres of land with views of Lake Victoria in a wealthy area. Zohan's father is a Columbia University professor. His mother is an Oscar-nominated director. This whole thing is very, very weird. You know, when you're running, for him, during this campaign, okay, this guy has been running a social media campaign, creating this image. There's no better imagery than a New York wedding with his bride. Why would he not do that in New York, where it all would be seen and had to go off to Uganda? It's hard to say. I mean, I still stand by he got married in this campaign so people don't think he's gay. But so far as why to do it, maybe he didn't want to have the Muslim wedding here. I'm not sure. It just, something's weird about it. You know, and it's an important news story simply because when you're trying to act like you're a man of the people and you have special forces, army soldiers guarding your wedding, a cell phone jamming device, there's something more to this than meets the eye. And if it were not for the New York Post and Fox News, we wouldn't even know about this event. Because there's really a media blackout on it. We don't even know anything about his wife, other than she's got to be a weirdo. If she's marrying this guy, she's got to be a weirdo. Now, on this Monday morning, a lot of you may be waking up in pain. I get it. You were more active over the weekend than you normally are. Maybe you were playing tennis or pickleball, or you went swimming or doing some work around the house. Who knows? But if you woke up on this Monday morning in aches and pains and you're sore, go see Dr. Appleton and take advantage of his laser away pain treatment and do what I've done 7 times. Say bye-bye to that pain. That's right. Appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Monday mornings, right? So you could go in today, anytime today, and get that taken care of. You know, also, if you, sadly, if you've been in a car accident, whether it's a driver, a passenger in an Uber or a Lyft, the laser treatment works on those injuries that are causing you pain from car accidents as well as arthritis pain, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, strains and sprains, tinnitus, stenosis, neck pain, tennis elbow. And I've talked to listeners that have had arthritis in many different parts of their bodies that have been treated with success with Dr. Appleton. They're very happy. He's rid me of pain 7 times. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. We'll take our first break of the second hour, come back with your calls and much more after this.